Let's try that again. The Tuesday, February 20th, 2024 meeting of the Eden Prairie City Council is now called to order. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. At this time in the meeting, I typically read an invitation for the residents of our city to address the council at Open Podium. Open Podium is an opportunity for Eden Prairie residents to address the city council on issues related to city government prior to each council meeting, which typically occur the first and third Tuesday of each month, from 6:30 to 6:55 here in the council chamber. If you wish to speak at Open Podium, please do contact the city manager's office at 952-949-8412 by noon of the meeting date with your name, your phone number, and subject matter so we can be better prepared for you. Open Podium is not recorded or televised. If you have questions about Open Podium, please do contact the city manager's office. I just want to make a statement about the weekend's events. Our hearts and our thoughts and prayers go out to the people of Burnsville, especially their police and fire departments, and for me personally, their Mayor Elizabeth Kautz, who I have come to know so well. I want to take this opportunity also to give very special thanks to our own phenomenal police and fire personnel, and to thank them for coming to work every day to keep us safe. So thank you. Mr. Getcho, we do have a presentation and an award.
Thank you, Mayor. We do. I think this is maybe the fourth or fifth year we've done where our Human Rights and Diversity Commission partners with our school and the students throughout our school district for a Words in Action award or contest. The award is based on the contest that we have. So we have tonight with us several members of our Human Rights and Diversity Commission, including our student members, that are here to introduce all of the winners that our Human Rights and Diversity chose and reviewed through this project over the last month. As you may recall, we have winners in different categories within the school, and we think it's really important that those students be able to share the full content of their work, which is always a great part of our council meeting that we do at this time of year. So I believe I'm starting with one of our student members, Jude, who's going to come up and introduce our first winner. Or Bobber, you're coming first?
You're going to talk about what is
the award itself. So, got it. Thank you. I wasn't at the planning meeting earlier. I'm sorry. So Bobber, feel free. Bobber Khan, member of our Human Rights and Diversity Commission, is here, and he is going to introduce the entire topic. Thank you.
Right. Okay. This is Babar Khan, and I'm from Human Rights and Diversity Commission. Talking a little bit about this event. The Black History Month Words in Action contest is hosted by the City of Eden Prairie, the Eden Prairie Human Rights and Diversity Commission, and the Eden Prairie Community Foundation to recognize the legacy of Black American civil rights era leaders. Youth participants are asked to select a quote from a Black American civil rights era leader and use art or writing to express their thoughts on the quote, as well as ways that they can carry forward the spirit of the quote in our community. We received numerous submissions and evaluated them for quality and relevance to the theme. The review committee ultimately selected 3 winners and 3 additional honorable mentions. The 3 winners and their guests have joined us tonight to share their pieces with council. In addition to the recognition here tonight, we'll be recognizing the winners and honorable mentions to the city's website, and social media. On behalf of the HRDC, I'd like to thank City Council members for taking the time to recognize the winners, the Eden Prairie Community Foundation for providing cash prizes to the winners and honorable mentions, the review committee for taking the time to score entries and select winners, city staff for their work coordinating the contest and facilitating the review process, Eden Prairie school staff for helping share the contest with the community, and all the youth who participated. At this point, I'll ask you to come and take over. Thank you.
Mayor Case, council members, my name is Jude Campbell and I'm a student commissioner on the Human Rights and Diversity Commission. I have the honor of standing before you today to present our 3 Words in Action winners. I'll be inviting each of them one at a time to share their work and give a few words on what inspired them to do so. All of the submissions were amazing and reading them was an absolute pleasure. Each of them should be extremely proud of themselves and they are truly proof of the wonderful future of our generation. Our first winner of this year's Words in Action contest is Itisha Budamangunta, a 4th grader from Eagle Ridge Academy.
Thank you, Jude. You can, pull that down.
Good evening, council members. Thank you for this opportunity to share my artwork with everyone. I am Itisha. I am 9 years old and a student of 4th grade at Eagle Ridge Academy. I love reading, learning new things, and exploring. For my art piece, I selected the quote, "Where you see wrong or inequality or injustice, speak out, because this is your country. This is your democracy. Make it, protect it, pass it on," by Thurgood Marshall. My art piece shows a collage of banned children's books from different states in America. When I participated in this year's Battle of the Books, I got to read the book named Ban This Book by Alan Gratz. It was about books that were banned at a school library. Reading this book helped me realize that different people will have different opinions about the same book. What one person may not like about a book, some others may think is important to be shared. As I started finding out more about banned books, I was surprised to see the reasons for banning some of the books. Books that talk about different cultures, festivals, foods, witches and wizards, even the history of African American or Native American people have been banned in some states. Anything that seems different from the opinion of some people has been banned. By doing this, they are being hurtful to people whose stories are being shared in the books. A lot of the books that have been banned have Black or brown characters, and it is unfair to them that their stories are hidden from the world. When these books are banned, kids may think that there's something wrong with their stories. I think banning books is wrong because everyone should be able to decide for themselves. There will be no free speech if we ban things we do not like. If you can find a reason to ban one book, you can find reasons to ban other books too. This way, there will be no books left in the world. This quote by Thurgood Marshall reminds us that if we do not speak up when we see something wrong, it may be too late. Standing up against something wrong is the bravest thing you can do. If we see that something is a problem, we should try and find a solution for it. That is how I thought of the Free Speech Library. I would like to share books with other people who might want to read these books. Kids who might enjoy reading about their own culture, about new cultures, about brave men and women of all colors. Books that will help kids feel proud about their cultures and help them see characters who look like them. The kids in my artwork are thinking of America as the land of the free and the home of the brave. To me, this means everybody has a voice and they should be able to share their story. Martin Luther King Jr. said in his I Have Been to the Mountaintop speech, "Somewhere I read of the freedom of assembly. Somewhere I read of the freedom of speech. Somewhere I read of the freedom of press. Somewhere I read that the greatness of America is the right to protest for right." I think we should all try to respect other opinions, even if we disagree. Having books of all kinds helps us know more about different opinions and stories. We can stop reading the book if we do not like it, but we cannot force our thoughts on others. Protecting free speech is the right thing to do, and we should all try to do our part in it. Thank you.
It's a show. I don't even know where to start because you are wise and mature beyond your years. I'm so impressed. So thank you for that writing. Thank you for who you are. I mean, I hope I live long enough to see you, maybe not be my age, but by the time you're 30 or 40, I will not be surprised if you've gone very far. So nice job. Very nice writing and well read too. So thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
All right, Jude.
Thank you, Itisha. Next, we have Amaya Dermery, a second grader from Cedar Ridge Elementary School.
Welcome.
The reason why I wrote a song about Martin Luther King is because I care about him and he fought for equality. If he didn't fight for equality, many people wouldn't have the family they do now, like my family. Martin Luther King was always forgiving. He always chose love and he persevered no matter how hard it was. I hope when you hear my song, you get the message, and I hope that my dream is yours too.
So there's a song, right?
Dreams Fly by Maya Demery. There is hope inside the world. I have a dream that will come true, that all are created equally. No one's better than the other, no matter what. Dreams Fly by Maya Demery. There is hope inside the world. I have a dream that will come true, that all are created equally. No one's better than the other, no matter of their skin color. I have a dream that will come true. I love all and you should too. I have dreams, let them fly. Nothing's stopping me. This is my time to shine. I love all and you should too. Black or white dreams can fly. I will break down barriers so everyone gets an equal opportunity to let their dreams fly into the sky, out of their mind. I have a dream that will come true. I love all and you should too. I have a dream, let them fly. Nothing's stopping me. This is my time to shine. Oh, 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 oh. Do 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 do.
Amaya, I can't believe you're second grade. I felt like sixth grade or something. You've got the whole package. I mean, amazing artwork, and your voice is right in tune, very pretty. Your poetry, you've got it all. Nice job. So thank you so much for coming in. Thank you for participating in this. Very impressed. Really nice words and message as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Amaya. For our last winner today, we have Akshaya Ramanujam, a sixth grader from Central Middle School.
Good evening, all. It's such an honor to be here this evening. Discrimination is something that can affect us all and hurt us all. I hope that we can eliminate all the discrimination against race and live in a world in harmony. Diversity should be recognized as such a wonderful thing that makes us all different. It's so fascinating that how we're all different and how we believe and practice many things. I hope that we can recognize different diversities and realize that, like how Maya Angelou said, in diversity, there's beauty and there's strength. Thank you.
Well, as I mentioned to you, I taught sixth grade 23 years, so I know that age so well. I would have been so impressed with you for many reasons. Your writing was incredible, but I think you would have been one of my tallest sixth graders ever. So I'm super impressed. So thank you. Thank you so much for those words and for coming in. All three of you. Maybe a big round of applause for, well, I know you're coming back.
We've got a video, Mayor.
Sorry, there's one last video.
Oh, we have a
She
video.
has a video. Yeah.
Hold your
My name
applause.
is Akshaya, and I chose Maya Angelou's quote, "It's time for parents to teach young people early on that in diversity, there's beauty and there's strength." Maya Angelou said this on January 9th, 2012. Maya Angelou was a poet, dancer, singer, activist, and scholar. She was born as Marguerite Annie Johnson on April 4th, 1928, in St. Louis, Missouri. She participated in the civil rights movement and collaborated with Martin Luther King Jr. and Malcolm X. She published many poetry books and recited the poem "On the Pulse of Morning" at the first inauguration for Bill Clinton. She gave around 80 lectures and speeches a year in the 80s and 90s. She spoke for Black women and fought for Black human rights. What this quote means to me is that diversity is a beautiful thing that shouldn't be overlooked. We cannot change what has happened in the past, but now, in the past, people would be judged by their color, religion, and practices and ill-treated in various ways, including slavery. We are all special in our own ways and should be proud of who we are. We have to teach the future generations about how unique each person is and to respect where they are from and who they are. We have our special abilities that we excel at and should help each other grow and make us all smart people. Racial harmony is something not to be taken for granted, and we should embrace respect and love for each other from a young age. Racial harmony is not to be celebrated just for a day, but beyond. My heart is filled with despair, or I'm well aware nothing can change this world. We have fought and whirled, never ending, I must say. Yet they don't understand, do they? I've lost all my hope. Why do I have to cope with all these flames of pain, of us not being the same? What do we need to do to claim, to get what we should have? But I mustn't stop, because they need to go non-stop. Fight for justice. Please, just trust us. Diversity is a beautiful thing, and it should soar high with wings. We mustn't let future generations keep hidden from the truth and let them avoid celebrations of diversity. We must teach them that in diversity there's beauty and there's strength. Our past may have not been right, but maybe we could correct the future to not let those generations live under the shadow we lived under. I stumble to the floor. The others laugh with the roar. I try to push back my tears, but I can't. It's one of my greatest fears. I run outside, away from the ocean of a laughing commotion. I sit down under a tree, and I'm crying out till I'm sitting in a sea of tears. But I mustn't cry, I say to the sky. I must change this place and embrace all this disgrace. I must speak out for all those people who are rolled about, who have a voice that they seal shut because they're scared, but I shall speak for them. I shall organize a club and protest peace. I shall start as one and grow to 100. I shall fight and make people realize I shall make this world better and make races all equal.
I thought your preamble was pretty amazing. So what was the high?
I don't know, probably from like my video or something. I feel
Okay.
that's how I started.
Okay. Hi. No, thank you so much. That was just amazing. And again, all three were so rich in all their different types of art forms. So very impressive, incredibly so. And you would have been so impressive in my sixth grade classes. So nice to see a fellow, I don't know, a fellow sixth grader. I'm not actually one, but one that I had in school in class. So thank you. Thank all. Now we can clap for all three winners. And parting words or?
Yep.
Yep.
Thank you to all our winners and guests for coming tonight. We thank you all for your hard work and dedication toward highlighting the important works of these civil rights leaders. You all have bright futures ahead of you and are one step towards increased equality within our world. Thank you, Mayor Case and council members, for your time.
Thank you, Jude. I love that what you're sharing about kids younger is how we feel about you. So that's a wonderful thing. All right. Wow, that's a great way to start a meeting. This is going to be a probably rather short meeting, but people are welcome to leave. We won't be offended, but you're also welcome to stay. So totally up to you. All right. Let's see, Mr. Getchell.
Yes, Mayor, we do have another item from our Human Rights and Diversity Commission. They are very busy. So as we wrap up the Words in Action contest, we're kicking off our Human Rights Awards. And I believe, Bobber, this time I'm correct in that you are providing the council and the community with the kickoff to our nomination process. So welcome back.
Thank you. Back again. So after very powerful words in action, this is a good transition towards the next good event that we are planning to have. So it is now a pleasure to announce the start of the Human Rights Awards process for 2024. The goal of the Human Rights Awards is to recognize Eden Prairie individuals, nonprofit organizations, businesses, and youth who have worked to create an inclusive community spirit through actions, activities, or programs. There are many talented groups and individuals in this community, and the HRDC is proud to be able to recognize outstanding citizens who embody the Eden Prairie Human Rights Manifesto. Nominations will be accepted until March 22nd, and the applications will be posted on the Eden Prairie's website. The Human Rights and Diversity Commissioners will review and select award recipients at our meetings on April 11th, and the Human Rights Awards will be presented at the City Council meeting in May. So let's start working on it. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. All right. Mr. Getcho, or do I go right into the Arbor Day proclamation, or do you want to say something?
Mayor, you can feel free to do that. This is something that we've done for a very long time. Eden Prairie is a very proud Tree City, USA. And I think this Arbor Day proclamation is something we've done for more than a few decades. But we don't have anyone here to accept it, but it's something that we do every year, something that you read and proclaim.
I want to give a call out to my former colleague, Councilmember Nancy Terra-Lukens at the time, not a mayor, when she and I in 1995 helped to author what I think was one of the strongest at the time, if not the strongest, tree preservation, tree replacement ordinance in the state of Minnesota, and has since been copied, I'm sure, by many other cities, resulting today, 30 years later, in tens of thousands of trees that have been planted in developments, to the extent that we believe we are more treed today than at any time in our 10,000-year history since the last glacial period. So with that, I will read an Arbor Day proclamation, Arbor Day, April 27th, 2024. Whereas Arbor Day provides people in Eden Prairie the opportunity to celebrate the importance of trees and forests to our economy, health, culture, history, and the future of the city, and whereas trees are of great value as they provide clean air and water, shade, energy savings, wildlife habitat, and recreational opportunities, and whereas thoughtfully choosing, planting, and caring for a diverse mix of trees and caring for trees as described in the city's urban forest management plan makes our community more resilient into the future, and whereas trees play a major role in combating climate change by sequestering carbon from the atmosphere, thereby offsetting greenhouse gas emissions, and whereas trees help Eden Prairie meet the Climate Action Plan goal of community-wide carbon neutrality by 2050, and whereas Eden Prairie first celebrated Arbor Day in 1982, Wolfgang Penzel, I believe, was mayor, if I'm correct in that. And whereas Eden, is that right? Whereas Eden Prairie has been recognized as a Tree City USA by the National Arbor Day Foundation and desires to continue its tree stewardship and tree planting practices. Now, therefore, I, Ron Case, Mayor of Eden Prairie, the city of Eden Prairie, Minnesota, do hereby proclaim April 27th, 2024 as Arbor Day in the city of Eden Prairie, and I urge all citizens to support efforts to protect our trees and woodlands and to support our city's urban forestry program. And further, I urge all students on the mind, and all citizens to plant and care for trees to promote the well-being of present and future generations. Ronald A. Case, Mayor, on behalf of the City Council. All right, let's see. We are at the approval of the agenda. Council members, any items you wish to add to the agenda this evening? If not, is there a motion to approve the agenda?
I'll move to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed? Minutes. We have 2 minutes. The workshop held back on February 6th and the City Council meeting. Any edits or questions about the way it was written? Anything you want to momentarily pull or question? If not, is there a motion to approve both minutes?
I'll move to approve the following City Council minutes. The council workshop held Tuesday, February 6, 2024, and the City Council meeting held Tuesday, February 6, 2024.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Consent calendar, items A through J. Any items you wish to ask some questions about, possibly even pull? We could vote on it separately if desired. Council, what's your pleasure? If you're okay approving as is, would someone make a motion?
Move to approval of the item A to J on the consent calendar.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Whoop, whoop. Oh, that's not roll call, sorry.
Yeah.
My brain went to roll call suddenly. Yeah. Okay, sorry. All those in favor say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Moving on to the roll call almost vote here. We have no public hearings this evening. Payment of claims. Any any expenditures that you wish to get some more information on, ask questions? If not, preparing for the roll call vote, is there a motion to approve?
I'll move for approval of payment of claims as submitted.
Is there a second?
Second.
Roll call vote.
Councilmember Freiberg,
Aye.
Councilmember Narayan,
Aye.
Councilmember Toomey,
Aye.
Mayor Case.
Aye. Is there something behind that hesitation or this? Okay, let's see. We are to the report of Park and Recreation Director Amy, and so I'll turn it back to you, Rick, and if you want to say anything as she walks to the mic.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. I'll fill a little bit of time as she walks over there.
Take your time.
I will. This is a project that you've heard about quite a bit in workshop and through our capital improvement planning process. So as council members, you're very, very familiar with the many years we've been discussing what to do with the pickleball at Miller Park. So we have come to a consensus. You know that through workshop discussions, but Amy is here to walk you through our proposal. And the action tonight is simply updating our professional services agreement with our consultant. Obviously, at a later date, we'll come back with you for actual bids for the work. But Amy will walk you through that.
As Director of Parks and Recreation, Natural Resources for the City of Eden Prairie, not so new anymore, but for some people watching from home tonight, she might be a newer face to you. So take it away. Welcome. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Mayor Case and Council. I'm excited to present on the Miller Park Court Complex project tonight. As you know, we've been talking about it for many years, and I've come on board the last 4 months, and it's become clear why this project is needed. If you've been out to Miller Park, the current basketball court and tennis courts are both in really rough shape with uneven surfaces where there's wide cracks, and really for us to continue proper facility management, we'd like to renovate these courts, and it would be a solid reinvestment for future generations. A little history of the project discussions, particularly if people are first hearing about this project. It is something that has been discussed between our department and across other city departments, our council and commission over numerous work sessions, meetings, and we've talked to many residents about this project, and overall people seem really excited. We've also weighed in with staff that have expertise in the field of athletics and various consultants for what the potential design could be. Some of the key considerations that we've looked at in this proposal are the needs of the community. We really wanted to see a complex that would meet the needs of the community in a broad spectrum of interests. So we really wanted to try to maintain a basketball court, a tennis court, and pickleball courts. There's also, as you know, an increasing need and demand for more pickleball in Eden Prairie and really across the region and the country. So we're excited to continue to meet that demand. We really wanted to look at the cost effectiveness of a design and making sure that we're not just looking at the costs of the project itself, but the long-term operational maintenance costs associated with this project. Also, participant costs. When it comes to equity, we want to make sure people have equitable access to recreation, and outdoor courts really fits that well. And regional trends, we know that outdoor pickleball is here to stay and continue to meet that trend. And indoor courts often are met with private business in the region and around Eden Prairie. When you look at the pickleball landscape itself, we have 22 courts in Eden Prairie, somewhat centrally located, maybe a little bit towards the southern side of Eden Prairie, but we have 22 courts across 4 parks. This project would help increase the overall court number to 30 across 5 parks, which is a great number. So we have courts at Homeward Hills, Starring Park, Pioneer, and Riley. So this would now include Miller. The red dots indicate indoor privately owned pickleball facilities. And then up in the northeast corner of Eden Prairie is a non-public court, but the public is welcome to use them at Wooddale Church. They have some beautiful new courts at the church. So when we look at the project itself, some of the highlights includes really maximizing the space that we have. So it's an 8-court facility that would have seating in the center, very similar to Starring, and this tends to work really well for safety, so people can get off the court to a seating area without being worried about getting hit by a ball from another court, so you're not going behind a court. Just adjacent to the east would be a full tennis court with seating to the north. And just to the east of that would be a full basketball court with seating just to the east along the edge. This graphic really kind of shows how we can maximize the use of this space. Also, this would include landscaping this project, and we would be planting trees that could provide some shade to the seating areas and around the edge of the overall facility. We really like this location because, as you know, pickleball can be a noisier sport. And Miller Park does not have residential homes or dwellings adjacent to it. So it takes some of the sound issue out of the project. It's in a recreational setting. As many of you know, Miller Park is a large athletic complex with different fields, courts, and skating rinks. It also is very close to the regional bike trail, so that would provide access for people to bike to the park and utilize these facilities. We're anticipating using this facility as well for our summer camp program that we have out at Miller and for recreation programs. We also will include lights, so this can be lit really anytime needed during park hours, which is 6 a.m. to 10 p.m., which is aligned with the adjacent like softball and baseball fields as well. I know one comment I've received from a resident is, could we look at indoor bathrooms for this park? And one thing that we are investigating is the possibility of utilizing our existing indoor bathrooms directly across the street from this at our warming house. And that would just take a few upgrades to make those operational in the summer.
Amy, where do people park? Currently, they park to the west, I think. And there's going to be more parking required, I would guess, from the use of these courts. So are you going to, in your report, talk about parking? If I'm getting ahead of myself, I can wait.
Oh, no. The parking still would be to the west. So we would have to upgrade some of the parking directly west to the complex and the sidewalks around the edging, but also to have increased accessible parking in the correct spots.
Okay, thank you.
In relation to it. And then the overall cost for the facility would be approximately $2 million. And those funds would be coming from park dedication fees. And we're hopeful to continue to work with ISG. So tonight we're looking for support for design services with ISG to really help us with the full design and permitting needed permits for this project to move forward. And we can start construction really as soon as the ground thaws, which we would hopefully get some play value yet in 2024.
I think that's next week.
Yes.
Council, I'm assuming you're ready. Council, any thoughts, comments, questions? We obviously are looking for more than our support tonight. There's a motion to go to that next step. So,
can I just ask a question?
Yes, please.
Back when you were showing the conditions of the courts, can you go back to that? I just have a question here of the existing courts.
Yep.
Okay, I understand the first one and the middle one. What is that third one? Where's that?
Oh, I think that's out by the basketball court.
Oh,
looks pretty bad.
if I couldn't recognize it, I'd go, on that. Thank you.
Councilmember Narayan.
You mentioned 22 courts we have with this. How do we compare to the other cities?
Yeah, I'm not sure how we, fit with the other cities. I just know, having come from Richfield, this is a lot of pickleball courts. We have about double the population of that. I think we had a total of, say, 16 pickleball courts in the previous city I worked in. So we're close to double that.
It would be interesting to know, it doesn't pertain to this because I know we need this and we need to redo those courts anyway, and it makes perfect sense. But I mentioned this at our workshop about looking at tracking trends of demographics and usage of certain sports and national trends of sports. I guess I would be interested. It should be a fairly I think fairly easy number to get. Like you take Bloomington and per capita, how many pickleball courts, and of course there's square mileage involved in some of this too, but just to know what's around us, because I understand from our pickleball Eden Prairie resident players, the pickleball players are kind of like deer. They don't necessarily honor city borders. I mean, so everyone comes in and they meet and they play and they're all over in each other's cities, right? But I would want to know, therefore, what's around us, because we definitely want to meet the needs of our residents in terms of all these athletic sports. We don't necessarily need to think about addressing the needs of the entire region, which I'm sure that's not what we're doing. But I would just be interested in knowing the trends in what other
I was
cities.
thinking exactly that
Yeah,
line
the
when
per
I asked that
capita.
question.
Yeah, and then that goes with indoor, outdoor, and private, public, and of course. There begins to be an equity issue a bit if we say, which is true, that there's a lot of indoor pickleball capacity, but it's health clubs. I mean, there's quite a bit of expense, so that gets back to the equity piece a little bit. And then the other thing I've picked up from a couple pickleball players that came to me, and this is for another day discussion. It has nothing to do with approval tonight of this, but just the idea that pickleball itself is leveling itself out into a not professional but darn close, very sophisticated players, all the way to entry level is pretty easy to get into it because it's not expensive. And the culture of pickleball, and I don't play it, so for those listening, if I get this wrong, I so apologize, but you go and you hang your paddle, right? And then you're next in line, and then sometimes it's random who gets into the pairs. And then if you get this disparity between the professionals and the new ones, there's not happiness. And so some of the professional groups, I think, are occupying or maybe monopolizing some courts. And I don't know, that's a programmatic piece down the way, not having really directly to do with how many courts we have. So just throw that out there. I promised who told me this, and I'll tell all of you later, you will know her well, that's an issue at some times on pickleball courts. So council, anything else about this tonight? Or this is a direct result of our direction. So I'm not cutting you off, but I also think I would be surprised if you're ready to vote.
So
Except for
want to continue
Councilmember Narayan, because he has a couple questions. Go ahead.
No, just continuing my thought there. I think it would be great to track the neighboring cities, and like Mayor was saying, some form that I was thinking about it. And not only in pickleball, the other area as well. So when we come here, we behind, we are ahead, and we see the trend, which is most important rather than we be ahead or behind. So I just want to give you some homework.
I appreciate that. Yeah, we can definitely do, definitely internal tracking with some new software that we have in partnership with Public Works. We'll be able to track some of the facility and park usage, and then it wouldn't be hard, regionally to look at kind of where we stand with facilities per capita.
Is there a way we can count what the usage is?
Yes, with
The new software?
Yeah, with the new software, we'll be able to get. It's not an exact science, but an estimate as to how many people are using the courts and when they're using it and where they're coming from to use the courts.
Okay. And I want to be clear. I understand your question, and that's a legitimate question. I want to be clear that my point of trying to track other neighboring cities' pickleball court numbers was simply to make sure that there's not a drain into Eden Prairie, because we have so many more courts of everybody else. But just to know, I would be curious, I guess, to know generally lacrosse fields, whatever, but that's not exactly apples to apples if their demographics are different or they're an older community. So that at that point, the trend would only be more relevant. What do we have now? How many youth teams do we have playing lacrosse? Do we have enough fields for them? I don't care what's an older city, St. Louis Park. I don't care if St. Louis Park doesn't have the lacrosse fields that we do. It'd be curiosity, but I don't really care. But I do care about pickleball, because if there's not enough courts out there in other cities, then and I don't mind being a draw sometimes, that's not it either, but I want to make sure we're serving our residents well. So
Is legally we can prioritize our residents versus.
Yeah, that's another programmatic off, that's an interesting question down the way. So,
I mean, if that your
Yeah.
situation come, a lot
I
of
mean,
people are-
possibly, I don't know that we want to get into that, but that's a good conversation another time, but yeah. Okay, council, anything else on authorizing this amendment to go the next step then towards the building out these courts?
Move to authorize First Amendment to standard agreement for professional service with ISG Inc. for design phase service for the Miller Park Outdoor Court Complex.
Is there a second?
Second.
Further discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed. All right. Go to it. This is exciting. It's been a long time coming. Again, we were not stuck, but we were working on a building for such a long time, thinking that was the path to go. I think we've all become comfortable that this is the right path for right now for us to go. So nice to have you here and leading the charge on that. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Getcho and council, anything else to come before the council this evening? If not, is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn the city council meeting.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, opposed. This meeting is adjourned.